Welcome, and thrice welcome, gamers, one and all, to episode 22.
Ooh.
I think I've lost track.
I know. I
we've
think
lost
it
track.
is. I think it
It
is.
is. We
Yeah.
should count it. I should have done it today. Welcome to episode 22 of the Generation X Gaming Club with your hosts. Of course, it's me.
And it is him, and it's me, Rokk.
Yeah. Clive Linden, aka Lord Kensal, and Rokk. I was looking you up actually today, Stadia Rocks. You're now Cloud Rocks, aren't you?
Yeah, it's kind of all over the place at the moment, mate. But I'm Cloud Rocks on Twitter and Cloud. I think I'm Cloud Rocks on YouTube as well.
Are you a bit like Prince?
Yeah, only he's dead.
Formerly, you're now like Cloud Rocks, formerly
he was
known as Stadia Rocks.
Yeah, kind of. I've moved it out and up into the cloud so that it covers more
wide, broad. That's what I thought you'd do.
Yeah.
He's a canny lad, ladies and gentlemen. He's a canny. He knows what his big brain, you see.
But, it's all Rokk, mate.
It's all Rokk. The Rokk brand.
It's all Rokk.
This, Rokk that. Yeah, exactly. Rokk Hotels. Exactly.
Oh, that would be good, wouldn't it?
Rokk University.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're not here to discuss the many nomenclatures of Adam Stone, aka Rokk. We're here to talk about the Generation X Retro Gaming Club, which, of course, ladies and gentlemen, you know, as I said, every week is all about gaming old and new from the older game perspective even. We're talking level 40 and up. You could tell because I can't read anymore. And we're talking lots of XP points in this game of life. We hope you're all well. Hello there, chat. Are you well? Let us know. Thank you. Thank you for joining us tonight. And if you are new here, then subscribe. And everybody else, hit the likes because it all helps. Say hello in chat and all of that as we rev up for another great show on all things gaming, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, yes.
In tonight's show, of course, we're going to have all the latest news, interesting articles from the world of gaming, a few and finally bits on this day in gaming history, of course, where we take a look back. And it's a classic one because we've missed a couple of weeks. It was a big anniversary that we missed. So we shall ponder upon that. Yeah. And, of course, another round of the ever popular Generation X game. Oh, did we do well, ladies and gentlemen? Didn't we?
Just none of the Americans watching have a clue what that does.
Doesn't matter, but I've still got to do it.
I love it, mate.
But before all of that, let us know what games you've been playing in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. Put it in the chat. Adam, Rokk, what games?
I'll tell you,
been playing this week.
Clive, I went a couple of weeks with just a few games and an hour here, an hour there. The last week, I've just wall-to-wall games. I'm absolutely loving it. I can't get enough games everywhere. I'm playing games on everything. It's games, all more games. I've been playing. What have I been playing? I've been playing a lot of Plague Tale. I'm right at the very, very end. I've got to that frustrating bit. I don't know what you feel about this. I hate it when I get to a game at the very end. There's a boss fight. And then about the 50th attempt, you think you've got it down. I've got it down. And then it sends you back. And I've now got to that point where I'm almost going to just walk away from it. So
I had a bit like Gears 5, a bit like that.
Was that like that?
I got over the edge in the end.
Yeah, I did.
But it's a nice relief.
Like
it's like banging your head against a brick wall.
Yeah,
it's always very nice when you stop.
But I don't want to. I just want to, I've put my time in. Can I just finish it now, please? Mad Max, which is a much underrated game, absolutely superb game. Same thing. Had a bit of a fight, a bit of a driving kind of race at the end, which I've never been able to complete. It was such a shame because I did everything. I virtually platinumed that game. But I can't get past it. So I've been doing a lot of that. Played all the pro games that came along on Stadia. Enjoying those. Played a bit of Destiny. I've been playing a load of stuff on PS Now, actually. I discovered a way of playing xCloud games on PC.
I
So,
saw your video.
yeah,
Is there a helpful video by any chance?
there may well be a very helpful video with a very calming ASMR type voice, which is
Yes.
always worth watching. So yeah, I've just been wall to wall games, mate. Absolutely loving myself. Entertainment.
Loving yourself.
Yeah.
Okay.
Little
Just
tug,
stick with the
you know,
games.
little smooth.
Talking of little tugs, Sea of Thieves,
Mm.
tugboats. See, there was a reference there. So there were no tugboats in the days of piracy. We played Sea of Thieves, of course, and that was great fun. And it did take me back. I did, as I've said before, I played a lot of that, and it is a lot of fun. And it looks so great. But you play it on PC, of course, at pretty high res.
Yeah.
And I'm playing on the Xbox One X, and it looks really, really nice and stuff. Doom Eternal, I went back to. Weird thing about Doom Eternal is I'll play a level and then get to the next level, and then I'll struggle on that next level, and then I'll give up, and then I'll put it down for about a week, and then I'll come back to it, go back to that level, and somehow I just do it almost straight away. And it's like, well, why was I struggling before? And then I get to the next level and I go through that kind of process again. It's weird that I kind of struggle, give up a bit, put it down. And then when I come back to it, it's like, oh, I just do this. And yeah. But I, been playing that because my kids have been occupying the PC. So I've been playing it on the TV, and I've forgotten how great the games look, playing by Stadia on the 4K TV. It's not like a spectacular 4K TV, but it's good. Even PUBG this week which I played again on the TV. I don't normally play on the TV when I'm playing with you on Rockstars at Night. It's on the computer here, but I was playing it on the PC, and I'm sorry, on the TV, and it's just like, and PUBG is a potato of a game graphically. But it just rendered through beautifully. I don't know what was going on, but it looked really good. So you just forget sometimes, just take for granted how good these things
What's
are.
the TV? What brand of TV is it?
It's a Samsung
See,
curved
it might
40-inch.
It might be upscaling a bit then.
Yeah.
A bit of native up. Samsung do a good job of that.
Yeah. I mean, I've played the games on there before, but I think when you take a break, and sometimes I've had a few issues with my playing on the computer and stuff, but then going back, even though I've got a 4K screen here, just look really nice on the big TV.
Yeah.
There you go.
Feet up.
But that's the versatility of Stadia.
But hang on, Clive.
Yeah.
Why? Can I just ask? Why would you want to go and sit on in your lounge on your couch, watching on your 4K TV, when you've got an amazing new chair? Oh, yeah. Whoa! Look at that, ladies and gentlemen.
This stream is mostly sponsored by.
Oh, hang on.
Yeah. Chair Brothers. Chair Brothers.
Chair Brothers.
That means that we're official now. We're official YouTube gamers, proper content creators. Yeah.
Yep. That's
You're not proper until you've got a proper chair. Yeah.
Yep.
You're stupid enough to spend big money on a stupid chair. Then that's it. You forget your content when you've got that. Like, that's automatic 10 subs, surely.
Yep.
Anyway, review on that coming up.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah. Shall we do the news, ladies and gentlemen, other than the fact that I've got a new chair?
Yes, let's do
yes, why not is the answer. Okay, so a kind of curiosity, a curio, as it were, this week in the news. I came across this, I love new things, even new credit cards, which is kind of weird. How about a credit card specifically aimed at gamers? Yeah. Razer, them of gaming stuff accessories, have made a Visa cards for gamers. So naturally it has an LED. It lights up, apparently. I don't think it's a genuine LED. it is meant to sort of light up when you use it. So when you sort of
Oh, right.
tap the Wi-Fi, it sort of glows or something like that.
Mine would be permanently red.
Yeah. Bit of a giveaway.
Yeah. The chap behind the counter be going, yeah, have you got any cash?
Yeah. All gamer accessories have got to have a bit of a glow. I mean, that's
Yeah.
a bit of RGB. So why not put it in your card?
Yeah.
It's a prepaid card, actually. So, and then you earn money
okay.
back on it. That's the point. But only available in this article is very kind of funny about it, really, because it says here that you can choose between a standard card, or if you want Razer's logo to glow green when making a payment, who doesn't, go for the premium card. You'll have to do without RGB lighting, though, because let's face it, that would be a silly feature on a credit card. Just bananas, I tell you. So instead, you'll get a green LED, which is totally not silly, the opposite of bananas, as in, I just tossed my current credit cards into the trash bin because none of them have green LED lighting. I'm no rube after all. So, yeah, there we go.
They were clearly getting paid by the word, weren't they?
Yeah.
I've got nothing to say.
I know, it just struck me as odd, funny, weird, and they'll
No, it's good. I love it. It's human.
It's only available in Singapore at the moment, oddly enough, should you want to be rushing out. I like, interesting enough, as a little side alley, I have the Curve card, which is a way of combining all your cards.
Oh, the curve, not a curved card.
Not
I'm
a
thinking,
curve.
how's it getting
Like a curved screen. It won't go in the, it sort of goes through the credit card in a slope.
Yes.
No, a curve card.
Yes.
And it combines all the cards in one. And then you use it, and then you can decide, actually, I didn't want to assign the payment to that card. I wanted to sign it to a different. You can go back in time and swap which card the sort of money comes off. Very cool.
So you've probably forgotten, Clive, haven't you?
What?
Our very, very first interaction was that after watching your Curve show,
my Curve,
I applied,
yes,
and you got some money because of that. And you messaged me and said, thank you very much. And I thought, I quite like this fella. And we've been in love ever since.
I know, it's a beautiful romance. The wedding's very soon, ladies and gentlemen. A fine romance. Anyway, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. I just thought that was, not amazing gaming news, but just a nice little interesting observation. We do have some more interesting news, ladies and gentlemen. How about this then? I saw on Twitter here a blank space. No. I saw on Twitter here, Sega #2 Arcade is closing down.
No.
Akihabara. I practiced that earlier. I've forgotten how to say it now.
Akihabara.
Yeah, Akihabara. Yeah, it's Akihabara. Or it'll annoy certain viewers. I hope they're not watching right now. Akihabara.
I'm annoyed.
Yeah. So we had to. So this is an absolutely mega famous arcade. Let me just get an article on it. And it's closing down. Another victim of COVID, really, I guess.
No.
And, and lifestyles moving on and stuff like that. There's an interesting here. Here we are. So declining demand for gaming arcades coupled with the coronavirus has claimed another legendary victim. Originally opened in 2003, Akihabara Kigo, the Sega Akihabara Building 2 multi-floor arcade, sat in the otaku capital of the world in Tokyo's Akihabara district, where it was easily distinguished with its colorful game promoting banners and its front facade. I think I've seen it. I think I've been there. Not necessarily in it, but I think I've been there. There's a lot I can't remember about Japan, but that's
So
a
what would I
different
mean?
story.
Is it just big and full of?
Well, we
arcade
talked
machines?
about how arcades are such a massive part of Japanese culture, much more than
Oh yeah,
here and stuff like that.
yeah.
So you imagine what was the Trocadero Centre in London? Do you remember the Trocadero Centre?
Yeah.
So that was sort of a big arcade with all the latest
Yes.
arcade machines in London.
Yes.
Well, that's a normal arcade in Japan. So this is the equivalent of their Trocadero version of arcade, and it's, you know, several floors. It's a multi-floor arcade center.
Well, not anymore.
You can see, not anymore, but you can see if you look up the side here.
Yeah.
So
Each
there's
of
probably
those
arcade
floors
machines on all these floors, because these
It's
are the
true.
obviously they map the elevator.
Wow.
Yeah, but it's
So-
just a bit. It's a passing of an
Yeah,
era.
It
you
is.
know?
Is it? They're not mothballing it then. They're literally closing it down.
Closing down.
Oh, what a shame.
Because it's not as it says here, demand is declining. People, you know, you're getting the same fidelity and stuff on your, but if not better, on your gaming PCs and your PlayStations, and maybe they're just going out of fashion. And then COVID comes along and it's just sped up the process, I guess.
What happened? Do you remember a few?
Yoshida says no comparison, massive. You see, that's what I said.
Yeah, but is she talking about the arcade,
massive.
or I mean,
she's
definitely the same conversation. Have we moved on?
No, she is referring to the arcade.
I just wanted to clarify. That's all.
Yeah.
Do you remember a few months ago we saw an article where they were talking about connecting all these machines up at night? Do you remember the old? Was it, you know? Couldn't they do that here with all this kit?
Well, maybe that's what the business model is moving to. So, all right, Ishida, thank you for confirming that to the chat. But yeah, he said, swiftly moving on.
The Lord is a deserved title.
Exactly. Keep going. They, you know, that's part of the cloud gaming aspect, or being sort of centers of cloud gaming. They might not need all the floors and all that kind of stuff. And economically, you know, there's probably a better way of doing that rather than having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you know, 6 floors of arcade space.
Yeah.
Fog gaming. Thank you, Nerve Report. Always on with the pulse there. That's what it was.
Yep.
Everyone was excited. Remember that when Sega had a bigger news announcement.
Yes.
And it turned out they were bringing out a microscopic Sega machine and mentioned basically the fog gaming.
Oh dear, that was so funny.
Everybody thought it was it's Xbox and Sega.
And it was literally like this, wasn't it? And it was $50 or a couple of $100 or something ridiculous.
Sort of crazy. 3 different colors. We covered it on the show, ladies and gentlemen. But yeah. So that's sad news, I think. It's a bit like, you know, this
goodbye
cinema sort of you know, going through here at the moment. But yeah. So those are the main news features, really. I'm just having a quick look if I covered anything else. Nope, that was it. Nothing major.
Nothing going on at all in the world, is there?
No, not really. But now, ladies and gentlemen, on this day in gaming history, I'm sort of, because we missed a couple of shows, we missed a really big anniversary. Probably one of the most important anniversaries, gaming wise, I think, that there is, in terms of almost making gaming acceptable, or sort of moving it into the mainstream, away from just being a sort of slightly nerdy, you know, thing. No disrespect, but you know what I mean. And it's this, ladies and gentlemen. The PlayStation at 25. Wow. So this was a week or so ago, last week. This is an article by Keith Stewart at The Guardian, who's a games journalist who's been around the block. He was a writer for Edge magazine back in the day, but he makes a very interesting point here about the PlayStation and how it really sort of changed the way people looked at gaming. And it wasn't really just the technological advances that he talks about here that we saw, but the way that it made sort of gaming seem much more acceptable and accessible to people. And he makes some very good points about this. And I'm just trying to find the quote here. But where he goes here. Let me just stop that a minute. Here he goes. While the older legacy publications, Total, Games Master, Sega Power, were crammed in on the floor, Edge shared upstairs, which is the magazine he used to write for, with a brand new official PlayStation magazine. And it felt like exactly the right place to be. The PlayStation was among the first generation to prioritize 3D visuals. Its powerful graphics co-processors, able to throw 200,000 polygons a second around the screen, and a dazzling display of graphics wizardry. When you played Ridge Racer, which we've talked about on here, or the fighting game Toshinden for the first time, and then games of Tomb Raider, of course, which is where I started playing Tomb Raider, you couldn't believe the lifelike cinematic clarity and the swirling cameras, the depiction of real explorable environments. It was like an dimensional doorway opening. I think it was the first time that games sort of looked and played like we imagine they should.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I mean, you go back from the early 8-bit days where, you know, we've done features, haven't we, where we sort of saying, here's the cover of the game. And it's a sort of a nice, vibrant Indiana Jones type game. And then you open it and it's like, you know, the ET game, a little 8-bit character you're moving around the screen to pick up dots or something. This sort of felt one of the first things that felt like, yeah, these are what arcade games are meant to feel like. So, yeah. So that's what he talked about. He goes, it wasn't just the tech. What Sony did more than any other hardware manufacturer at the time was to tap into the wider culture. When we were playing games in the Edge office, we were listening to electronic dance music of the time, the Chemical Brothers, Left Field, BT, William Orbit. And of course, Wipeout was famous for its soundtrack. It had a proper full-on sort of trancey
We had all those
soundtrack. Yeah. That's what I was thinking. I'm sure it had some William Orbit stuff on
had
it.
Chemical Brothers, Left Field.
Yeah. These artists had grown up with the games and playing them alongside us. So when Wipeout soundtrack featured, there we are, Chemical Brothers. There you go. And when Sheffield-based Gremlin Interactive hooked up with Warp Records for its PlayStation games, when influential graphic design studio Designers Republic moved its Japan-influenced art form from album covers to game packaging, it all made sense. So it did seem, especially in this country, especially I think, a coming together of culture, the music, gaming, you know, films. It just, I think, you know, it's much more than the tech. And I think, you know, Keith Stewart in this makes a really good kind of point about the significance of the PlayStation. This is specifically the PlayStation coming to the UK at this time in the end of September, 25 years ago. But yeah, I think a really important.
Did you have one, Clive? PS1?
I think I did.
I know.
Or borrowed one. Or
I didn't get into it till the PS3.
Yeah, either that or PS2. I can't quite remember.
Yeah, brother had a PS2. I think he donated it to me, but
yeah,
I didn't. I really got into it from about PS3 onwards. But yeah, I mean, seminal piece of kit, no question.
Yeah,
I mean, it was that or a Nintendo, wasn't it? Really, back in the day, and a Sega, because there was no Xbox at that point, of course.
But I think it was the cool machine, you know. That's what I'm saying. This thing about the cool in London, not London, in England, you know, that sort of culmination of the music and the gaming and all that kind of, and then your FIFA and rock, you know, and all that kind of stuff.
Plus,
Yeah.
Sony were seen at the very top of the kind of home entertainment tree, weren't they?
Yeah.
You know, if you had a Sony, I had a Sony stacking system.
Yeah.
You
Sony
know,
TVs.
Sony radio in my car
Yeah.
or something. It was, it was
Yeah.
Technics. And
Everything was
Panasonic
TV
and
for me.
Sony.
Yeah. Everything was Sony for me back in the day.
So when they came out with a game system, you knew it had to be class.
Yeah.
You know, it was, oh yeah, that's what I want. It didn't disappoint. Of course, the controllers weren't battery or Bluetooth at that point either. They were connected
Wired,
with cable.
wire connections.
Yeah.
Poor old Kumnar had his stolen in a break-in. That's a sad tale.
Yeah, but it did make my Christmas, mate.
Yeah,
so
he had to put something beneath, Rokk's Christmas tree.
Yeah, it was before that. All I ever got was an orange. So thank you for that, bro.
Yeah, you used to take your memory card with you to your mate's house or something.
If I can remember. Yeah, it was good times. Good times.
Dave Windle saying, I've donated a PS1 and 2 to charity shops today. No games, though. Man, you should have put it on eBay. I followed some retro gaming Twitter things, Facebook pages, partly for this show, trying to drum up some viewers. And people are always posting stuff going, oh, I picked up this, retro, this PlayStation 2, or I picked up this old N64 for 20 quid at 10 quid at a car boot sale, whatever. Do you think it's a good deal? Should have eBayed it, mate. Still a demand for still a demand for retro gaming stuff.
Clive Bryant said he was 25 years ago, and I said we were nearly 30. I know, mate. I know. It's all right. It's all right. We're wiser for it, aren't we?
Thanks, Brian.
Cheer
me up. No end. No. Oh, I'm so depressed. I'm going to go and write for Reddit now and be angry about everything.
It's all right.
It's too late. I'm going to Reddit. I'm going to just be angry at everything.
You're going to write to Kotaku and block everybody.
Yeah. Anyway, so there we go. On this day, 25 years ago, PlayStation came to the UK and it changed gaming, ladies and gentlemen. It changed gaming.
Yes, round of applause for PlayStation. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
Look at my cheers.
Woo, woo.
Yes. Well done, PlayStation.
What a good job. Well played.
There we go. But there we go, ladies and gentlemen. Right. That can only mean one thing, ladies and gentlemen. We've come to that part of the show where it's time to go head to head, ladies and gentlemen.
To get booted off of YouTube.
Yeah, no.
Not happening
again. Doing it. Not happening this time.
Not a third time.
Because, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the Generation X games. It's all right. It's all right. It's good. It's good. Right. Shall I go first?
You always do. You may as well.
You sure?
Yes.
Okay. Let us prepare the ground. So it's funny that we're talking about the PlayStation because my game, ladies and gentlemen, was a PlayStation game.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it was quite important to PlayStation. I'm just going to call up cinematic for it. And it's this. Advert. It's the Pixel 4a.
I love this game. It had 20 megs on the front camera and everything.
That is it.
No. Mate, I'm going to have to let you have my premium account details.
I know. I'll get round to this.
Oh, it's just...
I know. It's frustrating. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, it was this. Killzone. Thank you, Holtz. Well done. Killzone launched November 2004 on the PlayStation 2 and was quite far through the PlayStation console's life. I think the PlayStation at the time was 4 years old. And what you find with console and console development, certainly back in the day, I assume it's similar now, but I don't have that knowledge. But back in the day, I did. And, you know, initial games that sort of launched on console, when consoles launched themselves, were sort of all right, but they were only fulfilling a sort of a smaller percentage of the potential of those machines, because the games developers had only got their hands on the dev kits maybe 12 months before. They might have done some work on the PC and stuff like that, but obviously they wouldn't have access to the dev kits until probably the last 12 months or 18 months. And so, you know, it's really trying to just get the best they can out of it at the time. But when a console is about 4 years old, then the developers have had those console kits for a long time, and their technical guys and girls really know their way around that dev kit and can start really pushing and exploring the limits. And Killzone is one of those games on the PlayStation 2 that's probably one of the, graphically, I think, one of the best games on PlayStation 2. And at the same time, I think it was Sony's attempt to have a Halo. You know, Halo really changed the game on the original Xbox. Just the way it looked, the way it played, and all of that. And I think, you know, PlayStation saw the potential of a sort of that kind of first-person shooter and stuff like that, which we've talked about it on this channel before, about how Xbox was the sort of the console of first-person shooters and those sort of games. And this was really, I think, PlayStation's big attempt to have a Halo-type game on the PlayStation. Now, obviously, I'm just showing the cinematic here, so let me just get up some, out of fairness, some gameplay. There we go. Just get rid of the old advert that just. Right, so I've got some gameplay here. So just the way it played, there's something. So when you played first-person shooters and even third-person shooters at the time, they had a very stiff kind of play style. You know, sort of, your gun would either go east or west, north or south. Just what I mean, it felt very stiff. This is, see the way the character leans over there a bit. It's got almost in the way that the Metro games at the moment, so Metro Exodus and stuff, have that real kind of as though a human is walking along and rocking from side to side and stuff. And it just had that added bit of realism that I'd not seen. I remember showing on this show a clip of Medal of Honor and just thinking, oh, how sort of stiff the gun movement was. But here, you sort of, it feels, it's got that sort of realistic movement. It's sort of, we take for granted now in first-person shooters, although I notice it's not quite as there in I forgot his name now. What's it, Sam? But yeah, it's got that real, the way the character moves and the sort of the gun's slightly at an angle and sort of, you know, jolts a bit and stuff like that. And it just felt really, it still looks good. I think this is somebody's playing this on PS Now on their PS Pro 4. This is where I got this, but it still looks really good. And I just felt it was really, it felt really advanced. I loved Halo, but I really loved the Killzone series. Well, this Killzone, the first Killzone game as well. It just, even now, considering this was PlayStation 2, I know it's rendered up a bit, but it just looks, the way the characters move and everything just looks really cool. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is my challenge, my game. I'm laying that down. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Killzone, ladies and gentlemen. Killzone.
Very good. Very well done. Very well done. Do you know what? This is true as well, folks. I had two games in mind today. I didn't choose Killzone, but it was my first choice.
did.
So that
did.
was really, really quite weird that we both had that game. Although I was thinking Killzone 2, which I think launched with PS3 as a launch title, or the PS4, I forget now. But an amazing game. Good choice, Clive. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I've actually been giving you all clues tonight throughout.
Have you?
See, Clive's just spotted it.
Yes,
as well.
I've spotted it.
Yeah, you see. So
okay, so there is a big clue
yes,
right now.
look,
On
you see
screen.
behind, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah,
this is actually.
I didn't realize until I
Yes.
just started playing the
There
YouTube
you see.
video.
There you go. So this is a big clue for my game. My game, and I know it's not going to win. I'm going to
Look, watch.
You
I'm
ready?
going to go to the YouTube of his video. Keep an eye on Rokk's background there.
Mm-hmm. There you go. Look at that.
Look
at that. You see?
in front of us all evening, ladies and gentlemen.
In plain sight.
Just...
And it is an absolutely amazing game. It's called Everybody's Gone to the Rapture. Now, I know
this, you see.
No, a lot of people don't know this game. It's an indie title. I say indie. It was actually came out under Sony, by an outfit called the Chinese Room on PlayStation in 2016, but it won masses of awards. You know, there are actors that are actors, and directors that are, directors. This game was hailed as a lot of game developers said, this is just an amazing title. And the premise is very simple. You start the game, you awake in this gorgeous, beautifully crafted English village, which is, somewhere in, I don't know, Kent. I think it's set in 1984, but there's no connection with the book 1984, of course. And you're in this beautiful village in the middle of summer, but there's nobody anywhere. There's not another soul. There are cars parked up, doors open. There are signs of life. It's clear that at some point there was life going on, and you can go in all the buildings, explore, have a look at stuff, look at the books, the stuff they were listening to on the radio. It's all there. Yet you don't know why or where they've all gone. And you actually follow a little kind of glowing orb that takes you around the village to clues. And every so often, you'll see a bright light. Here's one coming up. And it's a couple of ghostly figures. And you just tune into their dialogue. And it is stunning acting. It's beautifully done. It's almost like a Radio 4.
It sounds like Archers. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, it's honestly very, very, very similar. And initially, you're just learning about the people and, the guys that run the local garage and the shop. And you sort of, hang around with the vicar and as he visits his flock. But then gradually it becomes clear there's a story here, where these people have gone. It apparently turns out they've all been quarantined because of a flu virus. I know, ladies and gentlemen, it's a little bit close, a little bit too soon, but it goes on. There's more to this. There's a sort of an observatory up on the hill where there's all sorts of weird stuff. But it is one of the most stunning games. The soundtrack for this, the whole thing, written, composed, played by, let me just see if I can find her name. I think it's Jessica Curry. Let's have a look. Yes, I did. Jessica Curry. There we go. Who, if you're into classical music, you would recognise her. She's done some amazing work. The whole thing is exclusive, written exclusively for this, and it is stunning. I listen to it on Spotify often because it's just beautiful to have in the background, gorgeous music, and it plays evocatively through the whole game. There's this kind of there's a big spirituality around this, and that isn't my thing, but you do really feel it playing the game. It's absolutely amazing. So Everybody's Gone to the Rapture. As I said, it came out in 2016. It was actually quite successful, won loads of awards, but it's one of those titles you wouldn't have picked it up. Most gamers would have not given it a second look. But I know people like MM2K put this up in his top 5 games.
Wow.
I do as well. People that did play it, and it has been a free title on PS Plus. So people that have played it have said, what an amazing, stunning, beautiful, evocative game. gorgeous, well-written story, beautiful acting, gorgeous graphics, and amazing soundtrack. So that's why I chose this. I was only playing it last night. Again, I have completed it. I've probably played this 2 or 3 times because you just get lost in this world, just walking around, the trees, the breeze blowing, the birds and the sunshine. And it just, particularly this time of year as we head into the winter, just, walking around this place makes you feel all summery and lovely. And it's got a very moving and ultimately a very sad and emotional story, which
Something very English about it. You can see.
It's based on those kind of 1960s, 1970s sci-fi.
Yeah.
Wyndham, the Midwich Cuckoo, the kind of English stories, the English science fiction stories. That I know the developers very much, borrowed from those kinds of genres. So if that's something of interest to you, then you will enjoy it. It's not taxing. You don't have lots of puzzles to solve. You just essentially walk around, follow, it's an open world. You can walk for miles, actually, go off into the fields, into farmyards and stuff. But it's a relatively linear story. It's broken up into 5 sections, and each section has the first name of one of the characters, and you kind of follow the story from their perspective. So you come at it from 5 different angles until ultimately it all comes together as a big conclusion.
Dave says Midsummer Murders.
Yeah, she's in there. She's in the glass house, mate. You'll see her in a second. But yeah, it is called Everybody's Gone to the Rapture. I cannot recommend this game more highly. I know you'll not. Look, guys, I know most of you never played this, and some of you probably never even heard of it, which is why I knew that I was on an absolute loser with this. But I wanted to introduce you to it because I think honestly, if you go and play this, you will not be disappointed. But it does only exist on PlayStation even now. But I'm sure there's some big walkthroughs on YouTube that you can enjoy.
Looks great.
It's gorgeous. You'd love it.
The texture on the wall.
Yeah. It's a beautiful, well-crafted. There's just love in this game. You can feel it. The developers, they originally they had a game called Dear Esther, which was quite successful, and this, as they said, is their kind of spiritual successor to that title. So I commend to you, ladies and gentlemen, Everybody's Gone to the Rapture.
Whoop. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. There you go. So. Got to make your choices. So vote now. So it's simple. It's C for Killzone, R for Rapture. C for Killzone, R for Rapture. No, we should do actually player 1, player 2. So vote player 1 for Killzone, player 2 for Rapture. And we'll take the vote. There we go. And go.
Oh, bless you.
Vote.
Player 2.
Yeah,
you can't say player 2. See, mate, everybody loves an underdog.
They do. Wow. Yeah, that's the thing, Holt. You see, Rokk convinced you. It was a fine selling job there, Rokk.
Well, thank you. I thought you did a very good selling job, Clive. That's why I thought I was a definite loser there.
No, I was relying on the game. You pitched it. Yeah, I think that's a Rokk win, ladies and gentlemen. I think that's a Rokk win. Ray, exactly. I mean, if we if we were fair, your credibility, Ray, obviously would award me instantly 10 points. But apparently, I'm not allowed to weight the scoring that way. So there we go.
Kumnar points out that it's actually available on Steam. I didn't realize it was out for PC. I'll be buying it on PC. I wonder if it's in full higher res.
Rokk wins it. Yeah, round of applause.
Thank you very much. By the way, it's on PS Now. So, and you don't need a PlayStation to PS Now, and you can do a month's trial for free. So I would recommend doing that just to play this game.
There we go, ladies and gentlemen. Rokk wins it. Rokk wins it.
Thank you very much.
That's okay. I'll go to the chat, but I don't think it's working. So we'll just read the chat. For some reason, it's not coming through the browser there, but in that glorious way that it's meant to. Let me just refresh that, just on the off chance.
Bless you, Kumnar.
But we'll see what the chat's all up to anyway. Let me just bring that over there.
Why is it not working? It works well on your Monday night show, which, by the way, ladies
it didn't work yesterday on my Monday night show.
Oh, did it not?
No.
I thought it did, but then
No,
I wasn't watching, so that's fair enough.
Ha ha! Caught you out.
I was in bed, mate.
Yeah.
Oh, I've got a cold.
Yeah. Oh dear. High res Pebble Dash convinced me. Yeah, Stuart. I was at the wall, the texture on the wall there, that Pebble Dashing. Yeah. I was thinking, oh, get the workers in for that one, get the builders in, repair that. You know. Yeah. Kumnar says I played neither and Rokk Cell was better. Yeah, it was. I was just like, everybody knows Killzone. Dave Widnall, I bought, yes, kids homework. Were you doing, Dave, on the old Baldur's Gate 3? Now, can I just say about Baldur's Gate 3? I know there's a lot of hype around it and all that kind of stuff, but it's just not my game.
I agree, mate. I agree. I watched a few videos and I just thought,
yeah. I mean, you know, I'm not to take it from everybody who loves those sort of PC games and stuff, but it's a little bit nerdy for me.
It has a massive audience, and for them, it looks stunning.
But it looks great.
I love the cutscenes. I could just watch the cutscenes.
Yeah,
I'm not paying 50 odd quid for cutscenes.
Well, I used to tell you that World of War, I told you that when we used to at E3 back in the day, you know, however long it was ago, every time there was a big World of Warcraft new games release, everybody look at the big screens at E3 that were up there, and just for the cinematics, everybody was waiting for the amazing CGI cinematics that World of Warcraft would have for their game. Didn't matter about the game, it was just the big cinematics. And they've obviously spent a lot of time on the cinematics in Baldur's Gate 3. So it does look really amazing, but it's just not my style of game. You know, we all have our sort of, you know.
See, in what, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, we're going to have Watch Dogs Legion.
Yeah.
So, you know, do I spend my 50 quid now, or do I spend it's Watch Dogs every day of the week, isn't it, for us, for you and me?
Yeah.
Wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
Or
I wouldn't spend the 50 quid or whatever it is in the UK's finest money for Baldur's Gate.
Uplay Plus.
Yeah.
You won't need to spend it. Just hold on a bit.
Well, did you see? That's what I was talking about earlier. Stadia tweeted me or on a comment about Uplay Plus.
What did they say?
Probably, we have no news right now about you. But no, so I think not that this is a Stadia show, but Cloudy with a Chance of Gaming posted that the earlier Watchdog games, one of the earlier Watchdog games is coming to Stadia. Yeah. And that's been confirmed. And then C-Trute sent me the press release from Ubisoft that said, and it said it's coming to Stadia. It will be, and this is what intrigued me, because I was asking, now why would you release an old Ubisoft game like just onto Stadia? Surely you'd release it as part of Uplay Plus, part of the back catalog. You know, that would make more sense. So that's what I'm thinking. And then it said it would be available for Stadia players to access or something like that. Just the wording was a bit weird. Available for us to access, and this year. Yes. So then thinking, that means, that mean, I was speculating, #speculating.
Yes.
Does that mean Uplay is coming to Stadia this year? Now, when I say this year, we are in October. So that's not long.
No.
So that was what I was speculating about and asking people about. I wasn't sort of saying,
no,
you're wrong, or I'm just saying, is that what it means?
Yeah.
I'm thinking here, Stadia players will be able to access. That's the quote. That's the wording they use. Stadia players will be able to access, and it will arrive this year. So just speculating.
No, it's 100%. I'd said the same because I was originally told, oh, I see they're advertising this remake, but they're not mentioning it's going to come on Stadia. And I said, 100% it is. It'll be part of Uplay Plus.
Yeah.
No question. And the only reason they're not saying that is because they don't want to call it out. They don't want to call out individual titles because they don't want people to think, oh, good, I'll get my money out. I can buy it. You won't need to. It's going to be part of Uplay Plus.
It says here, the quote from the Uni press release on Games Press, from kindly shared by C-Truth. It says here, Stadia players will be able to access Watch Dogs Complete Edition later this year, while all other platforms will have access in available territories when Watch Dogs Legion launches. So I'm thinking Stadia players will be able to access. Could this be via Uplay Plus? And if so, does it then allow them? Stadia have said, hi there, thanks for the tweet. Wasn't tweeting Stadia directly, I was just hashtagging them. We have no time frame to share about the availability of Uplay Plus on Stadia. Stay tuned to our social channels for updates, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, just speculation.
Well, they actually asked me if I was okay and sent me a get well card, mate. So, you know.
Wow.
Just saying.
No,
they didn't.
Although
that's not strictly true. I did have one of the directors wish me well.
That's nice.
Say no more. Well, it's public. It's out there. But there's some nice people there.
Good to know.
Yeah. Definitely. I mean, Holtz makes a good point. Look, we've got till October 29th, and we know that it's coming out on Stadia. Sorry, Watchdog Legions, because they've said Watchdog Legions is coming out on Stadia on October the 29th. So the question mark is, do they launch Uplay Plus before or after? We don't know. And there's no point speculating because we don't know.
No, we don't know. No,
there's no point.
It's fun to speculate.
Yeah, but we don't know. And we do this. I mean, I've been saying Uplay Plus this month for the last 4 months. So
yeah,
can't keep doing it, can you?
You're going to run out of months and then you'll be right.
Yeah. It's going to either be, yeah, exactly. It's the clock at once. It's either going to be this month or next month. And next month only because of November 19th. But you know what? The closer we get to that, Clive, the more I don't think they're going to necessarily do anything special for the anniversary. Just don't. I'm just thinking more pragmatically. It's a year to us. It's important to them. It's just we move on.
Yeah. They can have a big announcement anytime. Yeah. So if it feels like right at the beginning of the year or E3 or you know, the equivalent of E3 or GDC or that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Ubisoft are ready to go. They're ready to go with Luna. So why would they be ready to go with Stadia?
Well, I just think it's catching up with the porting. But as I've said before, I think they've had an extra 12 months. So whilst the window for Luna is shorter because they're, you know, they're Windows based, Stadia and Ubisoft had plenty of time because they've been working on it for a good 12 months, 18 months.
Yeah. Ever since
before Luna. So
yeah, with the original project that they had Assassin's Creed on, they were clearly working on it back even before we saw that. So
yeah, let's follow Holt's advice here. Say it won't be this month, and then they'll release it using reverse logic. I like that. Okay.
Yes, very clever.
Uplay Plus will definitely not. Let's see if it'll work.
No,
it definitely won't come out in October.
It won't come out in about 10 minutes.
You know, that's it. We all tried to sort of put some kind of logic around Stadia and Google announcements. There's no logic to it. It's ready when it's ready. And then they just, you know, oh, it's an anniversary, or it's this, or it's a Thursday, or it's a Tuesday.
Yeah.
It's like, isn't it Pro Day? You know, it's like
there's no point.
Oh, it is. It is. Be ready when it's ready.
Yeah. And I come on, I'd speak to Clive on the old DMs, and I'm like a little puppy with all my little Sherlock Holmes theories. And he goes, no, there's no point. What are you doing it for? And I come on, I think, oh, he's right. Oh,
yeah. Shoot him down. What a bastard.
Oh, you can't beat a lawyer, mate. You
Did a
can't beat lawyer.
unicorn tell you that? Yeah.
One year a pig will fly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, broken clocks are right twice
Exactly,
a day, so
exactly.
that's, that's my sort
Oh,
of Piers
bless 'em.
Morgan analogy. You know,
Piers Morgan's been he's been on fire just recently.
well, exactly like a broken clock is right at least twice. Isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, there he was, the pure definition of countryside, and before we know it, he's the nation's hero. Wow.
Yeah, well, that won't last long.
No, it will last as long as there are idiots in government, I would say.
Yeah. But there we go, ladies and gentlemen.
Got very political there all of a sudden, didn't we? Piers
Morgan.
Quick, let's move on.
Yeah, moving on. Yeah, thanks, America, for sending him back. That's all I'm going to say. Not.
Which one?
Piers Morgan.
Oh, I see. I thought you were about Johnson.
No, we kicked Piers.
Well, Johnson
Piers
was born in America.
He was, yeah. He could be president.
I wonder how many people know his real name's Alexander.
Yeah,
it's not Boris. It's Alexander.
Yeah,
well,
but I thought we'd got rid of Piers Morgan.
Yeah, I did.
And then the Americans, and then he wound the Americans up, and they said, "Oh no, you can have him back." And we go, he winds us all up, and we're going, well, "Why do you think we sent him to you?"
It'll be Gordon Ramsay next.
Yeah, well, he is coming back.
Oh, see, I knew it.
Yeah,
I knew it. Jesus, why can't they keep hold of one of these Egypts?
Insider information.
I was going to ask you about this actually, Clive, because last Christmas
I gave you my heart.
Going to break into
this year
cycle there, but I did stop.
Going to give it to someone special.
I knew you were there quicker than I was. Last Christmas, you famously pulled together the big special for the two people in Wales that I've forgotten their
Gavin
name.
and Stacey.
Gavin and Stacey, yeah. So what are you working on for this Christmas then?
Oh wow, I'm not at liberty to say.
Liberty, is that a clue?
No. Oh. All I do know for drama fans is Call the Midwife is in the can.
I love a bit of Call the Midwife.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of it, but it's in the can.
Anything that's got what's her name in it from Walkabout? Children.
Some woman you met down Walkabout.
Yeah, you know, I'm there in Cornwall.
Aussie pub
story. Have we not had this story about Jenny Agutter? And
oh yes,
do you remember? I met her in Cornwall.
You did.
I did. I met Jenny.
Every teenage boy's fantasy from the 80s.
Yeah,
Jenny Agutter. Oh,
the
werewolf. The American Werewolf in London.
American Werewolf, wasn't she? Yes, she was in that.
That's what it was.
Walkabout.
Yeah. American Werewolf in London.
Yeah.
The nurse. Oh
matron.
Right. Ladies and gentlemen, that's enough meandering for tonight. First of all, everybody, I want to say thank you. Can I get a digital only license? Can't remember. No, it's all TV. It's all content. Public service content. Doesn't matter how you access it. It's still the same content. So there we go.
Someone's got to pay, Clive.
Yeah, somebody's got to pay the gravy train, as they say. You know, us lefto pinkos on the gravy train.
That's it.
As my brother-in-law likes to remind me. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in. Please hit like. I hope you enjoyed the show. Please hit subscribe. Share it with your friends. Tell everybody about it. We'd like to say a big thank you. Rokk, have you got anything to say to chat?
Yeah, I just want to tell you that I love you all, each and every one of you, except for Ray. But the rest of you are gorgeous.
Ray, I love you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He can go and play with his
Ray, incredible taste. That's all I'm going to say.
With his never stops talking Halloween ball.
Yeah. All right then, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. Have a marvelous rest of the week. Thank you for being here. Make sure you check us out next week and all of that. Hopefully his cough's gone and we'll all be good. And we'll see you all around very soon. Goodbye.